Welcome everybody. It is January 5th, 2021. My name is Courtney Palladino out of Providence, Rhode Island. I am a platinum consultant.
Hi, and Molly Foster out of Las Vegas, Nevada, gold consultant with you today.
And today we're going to be talking about New Year's goals. Yay! So we have some really good templates for you guys to have at the end of the session. We're always taking care of you guys. So you can be able to put your emails in at the end when we ask for it, and we'll be able to send these out to you. So Molly, if you want to start.
Sure. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
New Year's goals. Okay, perfect. So what we've done is we've taken an idea, which we do every January, which is talking about setting personal goals. It could be for your business, it could be for your life, it could be for your family, it could be for your finances, it could be for your fitness and your health. And we've combined it all together in one training for you today. So again, each and every one of you that are on this session live will get a copy of this PDF. It's 43 pages. It's called My Personal Goal Planner. Now, the reason why we feel like this training is super important is because we have to start the year off right. When we talk to new agents or when we're on a question and answer session, one of the things that always comes up is, what's the hardest part of this business? Or how can I stay more organized throughout my day? Or how do I know that I'm making attainable differences and attainable incremental increases in my business, either monetarily or personally? Because some people are here to make a lot of money, and some people are here to take a lot of free trips, and some people are here to team build, and some people are here to help others. So we want to make sure that you're very well-rounded and that you have goals set, short-term, mid-range, long-term, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, and that you attach an actual date to them. So you kind of pressure yourself into having a deadline to be able to get things done. So we'll open it up with that.
Okay. So do you want me to say, we have some goals here. I can read off just some goals and then we'll have you guys kind of talk. But Erica says she wants to do at least one thing towards building my business each and every day. Bernadette says make $2,000 monthly and go on some fam trips. Brittany wants to do more in bookings. We have Linda and $2,500 in sales by the end of the year. Erica also says she wants to refinance her student loans. Ashley Harper wants to be gold by March 17th to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Michaela, read at least 6 books for fun, not personal development, not to learn, just because. I like that one. Okay. Kayla, mine is to become debt-free and travel. Chris, get a different car. Give her current one to her daughter and Krista, establish her business better. Organize myself. Tiana, work, life, kids, travel agents. Okay. Stephen, I would like to make silver by mid-year and make $5,000 a month. Those are good ones. We have a lot of awesome goals here. Make $2,000, bookings, get clients, start booking, go on fam trips, $2,000 a month by April. Okay. There's a lot of really good goals. For myself, it would be to finish paying off all my credit cards. I should be done in the next 3 months. That's the goal. If I keep on the route that I'm going on, so then I shall be officially financially free.
Ooh, and I have a question for Griselle Ortiz. She says, I want to make at least $1,500 a month with the team building. So my question to you, Griselle, and you can type it in the chat, what level or what rank would you need to be at to make at least $1,500 a month? It's just a little quiz, so we can make that an attainable rank for you. Give her just a minute. Liz says, to get clients, buy a house, go to Disney with my daughter and granddaughter. Oh, yes, Disney is such a family affair. It's awesome to take your family there.
Do we know about $1,500 a month? Do we know what rank that is about?
Does anybody know?
Gold.
Well, it could be gold, but currently it would have to be a gold plus a silver or two.
But you have to think by the time you're hitting towards gold, you should have, and this is where team building class will come in, but at that point you should have at least 2 accounts.
That's right.
So if you really think about it, there are agents out there that have 4 accounts, and that's another area. But even with 4 accounts, right, that's 4 goals. That's almost the amount as a platinum.
Yep, exactly.
So, but that's another subject.
Okay, so this sheet, we're not going to go through everything, but you guys will get a copy of it. It talks about doing yearly habits. So for example, Courtney's a runner. So maybe she has a goal or a habit that she wants to, run a certain amount per day or per week, or a mileage tracker. I'm not sure how you're doing it, Courtney, but that's a very good example of a habit. That's a positive habit.
So when I'm not doing it this year, but in one of the years I was running the year, meaning so if it was this year, last year is 2020 miles in the year 2020. So having to divide that up by how many days that would be, it came out to about an average about 5.5 miles a day. Now, if I skip a day, obviously I need to keep track of that on this calendar so I can put that in if I'm like, oh great, I'm going to run a half marathon. So it's really like 2 races, 2 a day, so I can skip a day. But when it comes to finance and not finance, a fitness tracker, yeah, I literally have a little notebook on my treadmill that I'm writing down the day and how many miles I ran on the treadmill, how many squats I did, how many push-ups I did. I always have a list for everything.
And you guys could do the same thing. For example, if you're bringing on new agents and you're team building and they say, well, how many hours a day or a week are you putting into the business? You could also track, how many hours per night are you spending on specialty certifications? Or how many hours on Zoom are you spending a week learning about your business and investing in yourself? So there's other things that you can track as well. It could be a savings goal. It could be a financial goal. It could be a retirement savings goal, whatever it may be. That's something that I'm personally working on. I'm trying to make sure that I fund my Roth at $6,000 a year. So for me, that lines up to getting the IATAN card and putting all that money into retirement. So you guys can get creative and kind of give yourself different incentives for what you want to do throughout the year, just making sure that you're creating good, positive habits. And then we have quarterly goals. So quarterly goals could line up with seasonal travel, meaning that we all know that nobody goes to Alaska in January, February, or March, right? So maybe your quarterly goal for like Q3 could be to sell an Alaskan cruise for 2021 or something like that, because quarterly goals also go with season. So if you start to learn the seasons and when peak travel happens and when low season travel happens, and maybe you start to sell travel during the low seasons and you go with your groups or you go with your team, you could actually make an income when most people aren't traveling as well. So quarterly goals, that's just an example of something that you could put together for quarterly goals. On this sheet, you'll have 4 quarters, of course. Courtney, did you want to add anything to quarterly goals?
Yeah, so not maybe this year, but you can still obviously keep these sheets for next year and really think about, well, a big festival that happens every year in the first quarter of the year is Carnival in Brazil, right? That's a big area that I know Brazil very well. I go there numerous amount of times. So of course I have people that want to go there. So that obviously would be on the first quarter for me to start getting all my material ready to start promoting for Carnival.
Yep. Carnival also in Trinidad is a great one. We've got the World Cup that's coming up too.
Yeah.
And so
Super Bowl, right?
Yep. So many things.
There's a bunch.
For the guys that are on the line, so I'm just happen to see Steven here on camera, start thinking about what, football team, what baseball team, what basketball team or soccer team that you like, and you could start to put together trips for your friends on long weekends to go to the away games once they start having people able to come into the sports arenas and things. That's a great way to make a lot of commissions as well. Okay, so next we'll go into weekly goals. So we do want to get some crowd participation on today's session. So if you guys could be, he says Steelers plus Super Bowl trip. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'll forgive you.
No, Falcons. So sorry.
And she's a Falcon.
Sorry, Atlanta.
So
My
let's go
Steelers,
ahead and
yes.
either have people unmute or go ahead and type in the chat box and we'll read it out. Go ahead and make a weekly goal for yourself this week and let us know what it is in the chats, because this training is really designed to be a lot more interactive. We don't just want to be talking at you. We want you guys to be participating with us. So we're doing it as a unit. We're doing it as a team. We're getting to know each other. And we can help push each other's goals forward. Okay, so Brittany says that she wants to finish her Disney training. It's so long. Yes, it is. Kayla says finish Disney training as well. Ashley Harper, attend at least 3 live meetings this week. Perfect. And
So I have a question. Everyone's asking about Disney training. Take this weekly goal and pick a day. What day that you want to work on Disney training? Is it every Monday at 5 o'clock? You're going to do an hour of training? I had a girl that signed up and in 2 days she finished Disney training. Okay.
Same here.
She was off work and let me just do it. So you got to pick a day. All these things you want to pick a day.
Yeah. So we got a couple
that
more.
would be mine as well.
Liz.
Yeah, that would be mine as well, Disney. So I guess pick a day and do, I mean, I know, I guess I'm trying to do a little bit each day. That's not good enough though, right?
It's not that it's not good enough. It's just
I mean-
sometimes when you're having all these things going on, because if you look at the schedule today, if you're in Eastern time like I am, right? So between there was a morning focus at 11 a.m. But so starting from noon, starting from noon all the way until about 2 o'clock, that was 2 hours right there, free time, if you didn't have anything right going on.
Right.
Yeah. And another thing that I always advocate for is take an hour or two in the evenings and don't watch Netflix or Hulu. Do that. Do your specialty trainings once business hours are closed. That's how I do it. That's how I tell my agents to do it, because I want them marketing. I want them emailing. I want them trying to get customers during the business hours of the weekdays. And it seems to work out pretty good for the agents that I recommended that to as well. Just the food for thought on that one.
And I want to include on Sundays, and this is what Jennifer Burns does. She goes through the Rising Tide schedule and she writes down what trainings are going to be going on for the remainder of the week, right? So, getting yourself ready for the following week every Sunday.
Yep. And on that note, what we did mention in last week's training as well, there's a 6:30 time to evolve call, which is 9:30 Eastern. So if you happen to be on the West Coast or you stay up later, you could always schedule your next week out after that training or during that training. So you're working on your business as well during those office hours when you're listening to the education that they provide every week. And then on the note of Disney training, if you're going to be doing the Princess and Cunard, it is a bit of a long training as well. So you'd want to break that up about the exact same as Courtney recommended to do for the Disney. That's going to be 2 different challenges to tackle, the Disney and then the Princess and Cunard. Okay. Courtney, do you want to go about today's goals maybe, since you do the daily schedule?
Sure. So today's goals, so if it was be for myself, my day happens to start, and I can't move the mouse, but my day happens.
There you go.
Thank you.
Where are you? There you are.
Okay, so my day happens to start at 7 a.m. My alarm goes off at 7 a.m. Eastern time. So, and then I would put in the time finished 8 o'clock. Action steps, daily schedule will be sent out. That's when it's due. Like I literally have a due time of when this needs to be finished. Sometimes it's a little late, just like by a couple minutes, but in all, that's when the action plan, right? So from 8 o'clock, that means 8 o'clock to 8:30, my action plan for the day is going to be getting ready, right? 30 minutes to have breakfast and get ready. By 8:30 a.m. for me, I'm heading on for the run. Right, that means from 8:30 to 9:30, I'm running on the treadmill because it's cold here. So I'm on the treadmill, and I'm also on the morning rise and grind call listening to Mama Gail. So I'm really doing 2 things at once, right? I can run and listen at the same time. I don't have to talk or anything. And then it's literally going through the day of what needs to be done, right? And it's kind of the same way if you look at my schedule here, right? Everything's kind of written out. It's highlighted as far as what I need to personally do, or if I'm doing a training. but you can have it on there. You can have it on here as well if you need it separate, right? And just, you can hole punch this and put it in a binder if you need to. So like top goals of the day, you know, if I needed to do laundry today, then again, it's not going to be travel related, but laundry, you know, look over the bills, pay rent, you know, do 2 quotes for today. Okay, notes. Okay, Tammy's, I have to do a young lady, she's doing 25, a group of 25 to Vegas. So that would be on the top goals for the day, quote for Tammy, and just put a couple of notes in as far as what I need to do for Tammy. Okay, I'm booking a Disney trip of 18 people. So that would be another one. Book Darius's Disney. So I'd put that in the notes. So any important things you would put on here. Does that make sense, guys, on your action plan and times?
And the good thing about this time is that you get to decide when you start your business, right? We're all working our own businesses, but together you're an entrepreneur. So if you want to sleep until 10, don't schedule yourself for something that starts at 8. Make sure that you think about what time you want to wake up in advance and you start your day with that meeting that you can get to. Be realistic as well. I mean, some people don't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning because they've been up till 3 working, like some people on our team. So just be realistic with what schedule works for yourself and your family throughout your day.
But it's also, you have to think, we understand that you're home and you can get up and still work in your PJs, right? But if you need that push to get up and feel like you're moving and you're doing something, go ahead, pretend that you're going to the office, put on something pretty decent and go ahead and fake commute to your office space and get set up. Okay. Sometimes you may have to listen to music. Sometimes you may have to get onto somebody else's training, just to have that noise in the background. And that's what I do. Not necessarily I have to go to, you know, orientation training, right? I don't have to go to orientation training, but I may hop on just to listen so I can listen and get some work done, right? I call them my coworkers, right? I have to get on and meet my coworkers on the computer so I can get work done.
And another thing too is if you commute to a 9 to 5, maybe you're not working at home right now, or you have a busy schedule, turn your car into a university. Like I work out at 6:15 on Mondays, and I had a meeting from 5 to 6. So I started my meeting at my house, I continued it in my car, I finished it at the gym, and then I went to my class. So really, if you're doing errands, anything that you're doing, you can pop a little Bluetooth or a headphone set in and attend the trainings, even if you're not looking at your screen. At least you're hearing the knowledge that we're providing to you every day.
Right, and that's what or start listening to some team building videos, right? You don't have to necessarily sit there and watch Charles. Well, maybe while you're driving, okay, listen to it. Okay, you don't always necessarily have to sit there at the computer watching everything. Okay, I mean, I know team building. I can answer all y'all's questions. I can do everything. 4 years in, I know the stuff in the back of my hand. But I'm still listening. I'm still hopping on Charles's team building. I'm still hopping on Q&A, right? Because I need to feel like I'm in the office because ain't nobody here.
So here's what I want you guys to do. Who has looked at the daily schedule that Courtney sent out? Go ahead and type in the chat box what the #1 training is that you wanted to or that you will attend for today. Out of curiosity, what are you guys looking at attending today? Because you should have received that schedule already. Go ahead and let us know in the chats. That way we know you're paying attention, right, Courtney?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Nikki Lee live, the morning call, Ron Archer's at 11, the Q&A at 7. Perfect. So you guys have read the schedule. Awesome.
Do you see Mary Purdue put she wants to attend the Q&A at 7. She's doing the Q&A at 7.
Well, hey, she's attending it, right? Okay, you got the mouse. So go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so our next one. So I guess reflects on your overall productivity. Keep track of your days as you are productive and score yourself from 1 to 10. Ooh, this one's a tough one for me.
That is tough.
You really have to be honest, okay? Don't put things that you really want to hear, but you really have to be honest, because at the end of the week on Sunday and you're looking at this like, how productive was I on Monday? Not that productive. You may put like a 2, because on the side notes, you may put -sick, right? You may have been sick, right? I have an agent that has COVID. She's still booking and team building, know, but she's not the best. So she may put a certain number on here and put, because of COVID or something. But this is really gonna probably help you. We're just like, dang, I have a lot of 2s and 3s. I need to get myself going and change something. Okay. Now, whether it's your accountability partner that can help you and be like, okay, so what were you doing in these last 2 days that you didn't feel very productive? Well, I had this and I had this. Okay. Well, what needs to be changed? Because we can tell you all the things all day long and give you all the tools and all the paperwork, but who is this really on? This is you.
And if you decide to take a day off, then obviously it's going to be a 1 on that day. Like we all know that Charles Lee takes Sundays off. Don't text him, don't freeway him, don't bother him, don't call him, but any other day of the week he's available. So if you guys take a day off and it's not Sunday, don't be too hard on yourself. We're all allowed a day off here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I usually take Saturdays off somewhat where George is home and I want to spend time with him because it's the only full day that I get to see him. So no, I'm not on Zoom trainings at all on Saturdays, but I do answer text messages and some calls. So not a full off day, but like the Lees, they take a full Sunday off. Do not call them.
Right.
Do not call them, text them.
I like what Brittany says, respect your personal time. I refuse to work a 20-hour day. There you go. Know your limitations as well. But don't let that be an excuse at the same time.
Yeah, also, if you know that like when you're going back on this timesheet here, right, and you're scheduling the actual times, put in that time for lunch, right? Sometimes you guys get so engrossed in like quotes, right? Because you're spending hours and hours and trying to figure out what's the best and where should you go and how, oh my God, the price just changed, right? You have to know you're going to only do your quotes between 9 and 11, and you're giving yourself those 2 hours to finish it up. That's when it's due. It's due then. Finish it by then, go have a lunch, go make a lunch, and then head back to the office.
Yeah,
right?
Give yourself a block of time. Like, let's say you just wanted to do it from 8 to 10. Set an alarm for 10 o'clock. When it goes off, you've spent your time doing that and you move on to your next activity.
So it's just like at work, right? If you were sitting in the office and your boss tells you, listen, here's your paperwork, guys. You've got until 11 o'clock to finish it. Oh gosh, you're going to do everything in your power to finish that work, right? Because your boss told you to. You are your own boss and you can do what you want, but you still have to have the mentality to like, okay, got to do this, Courtney. We got this. 2 hours. Let's go. Turn off the phone, turn off the TV, turn on some nice music if you have to. That's something to distract you to get that work finished.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's this one. Okay. Now, Molly, do you want to go over goals and I'll just kind of.
So I'll address one because I feel like people think I know everything about fam trips when I really don't. Let's say, because we had a lot of people in the chat that said their goal was to attend a fam trip, okay, or to attend a fam trip that's all inclusive. The first thing that you have to do to be able to attend fam trips is to be registered with the vendors, the suppliers, the tourism boards for different countries, especially in the Caribbean, the religious tour groups, which we did a training about. There's all different vendors that you have to be subscribed to. In my first year, I didn't have a goal of doing fam trips because I was trying to figure out what in the world I was doing with this business alongside working full time. But this year, I decided to do something a little bit different. I want to try to take a free fam trip once a month. So for those of you, as an example, who had a goal of doing a fam trip, first, you have to know what fam trips are available. And to get those fam trip options, you have to be registered with the vendors. A lot of them require you to either do a training and complete a specialty training and get your certification, or to actually sell something like the Jamaican Tourism Board requires for you to get invited to these big fam trips. So if you know that your goal, for example, is to attend a fam trip, when would those fam trips be? How can I get invited to those? What do I have to do to even get the invite? Maybe you want to put that on your quarterly goal sheet as well. Like we have an upcoming trip. It's in April, so that would be Q2. Courtney and I are going somewhere in April. And so we need to put that on our goal sheet to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. You know, do we need COVID testing? Do we have to have a specialty certification? How much is it going to cost? How are we going to get there? Who are we going with? And just set a specific goal and know when that target date's going to happen for the trip. Because if you don't get your paperwork in time in the trip, or you don't have your certification done, they're not going to choose you and they're not going to invite you even if you apply. So for those of you who have fam trip aspirations, just make sure that you're registering and doing the certifications, because that's the key to getting into the fam trips. And the more you can sell for a brand or a tourism board or a country, the more VIP fam trips that you get invited to.
And if you are an international agent, you really should look into what fam trips are local, right? We have somebody in Antigua, and you really should look into seeing Sandals is there, right? You're already there, right? Go see what's what you can get available.
I'm just typing something for Brittany. We do have a video on that, yes. So once you register for a vendor, a supplier, a country, a tourism board, you get put on their email list. And once you complete their certifications, you get put on a different email list as well. So you need to be checking your promotions tabs, your social tabs, and your email every single day, at least once or twice, because that's where they send out the information about what's available. Right now, I just saw one that's going to open up for Belize if you're a certification with them. I haven't done my certification, full disclosure, so I'm going to probably do that this week so I can make sure that I'm going to get the invite for it. But that's how you're going to find them, as you get put on the email list.
I'll go too.
I'll type that in too as you're moving on.
But it was just in this past October. This past October, we actually had a whole bunch of agents head to Mexico for free. Now, some of them are fairly discounted. Some of them are complimentary. Some of them you can bring a guest. Some is just for agents. They're going to give you all the information. So I know people ask how much or when or who, and like, I don't know all of them. They will let you know.
Cool.
Okay. So let's go to the next one. Goal action, which would be, I guess, would be kind of towards all here. We've got mini goals. How cute. Okay, so you can put your goal in the start date, a few action steps here, your progress. If for ladies, if you guys like those highlighters and those markers, you can start putting in progress. Do a little check off, however you want, get your little happy stickers, put them on. Okay, if you didn't finish it towards the end, put some sad faces on there.
I think
make it fun.
For this progress, I think a good thing would be, let's say that we have a brand new agent that's on the line, right? And they want to get to executive. Use that progress as tally marks or numbers so you can count how many agents you're getting to hit your goals. To executive, right? You stay at executive rank, you get your membership free every other month. So it's not a bad start. So you could use those boxes for that as well if you're team building.
Okay, awesome. Habit tracker. Okay, forming productive habits that improve your life and help you reach your goal is important. Choose a personal or business goal and work towards developing a habit that supports it. So again, this is very detailed. Molly,
so I'm just curious, does anybody have a habit that they're currently working on that they would like to unmute and share with us, just so we can get to know you guys better and help you achieve your goals? Does anybody have a specific habit that they'd like to share with us? Stephen, do you want to unmute and come on and tell us a little bit about what you've been working on? Let me unmute you here.
This is Iris. Hi.
Hi, Iris.
Yeah, one thing I have is to be consistent in posting. I'm really bad in that, and I don't have a big social following neither, so that makes it really difficult for me. So that's my discipline that I have to get.
So I got a question for you. So if you say you don't have a big following, what is one of the big action steps that you can do every single day to get your Facebook count to 5,000 as an example?
Go to other people's page and invite other people to my page.
Yep, and go into groups, not travel agent groups, but go into groups of people that love to travel and start adding people that have the interest in what you would be selling, right? Like singles trips, girls trips, family trips, etc. And look for people who travel but that are not advisors to be able to expand your network that way as well. It's okay to add strangers, right?
Right, yeah.
You're gonna be posting professional, positive content anyway.
Right, yeah, I put already my Facebook on public, you know, because I used to have it on private, so I have everything on public now. And yeah, I just need a following, because even when I post, I'm not getting any any good return.
And-
Iris,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
would highly suggest, Molly and I do have a social media video on Rising Tide under New Agent Phase 2. It goes into how to set up your Facebook page and what you should be posting every single day.
Okay, great.
So, can you guys hear me?
Yes, go ahead,
Stephen.
Stephen. Hi there.
You were asking me, and I was trying to unmute myself, and I hit a wrong button. Anyway, I have a morning routine that I try to do every morning, which involves, like, brushing my teeth, making my bed, all that stuff, and then doing some stretching and some Tai Chi and biking throughout the week. I mean, I alternate on all that. And then you like a morning shake and do like a quick journal of the day before or whatever. You like just one quick page. Just to get in a little bit of meditation, maybe, or a little bit, and gratitude, just to get my brain in a positive mode. Then I also have each day at least 1 hour or one section of supplier training video or vendor training videos, and then 1 or 2 live videos that I can attend. If I can't find a live video that is suitable at the time or maybe a subject, I usually go onto YouTube and watch, like I've been watching the two of you's series from the end of last year. So
Good.
that's my habit every week. I mean, my habit list actually gets a little long sometimes, I think, and I think it's like, it's not overwhelming, but like, like I feel like I have to get it done, but in a way that I think that's good, because I'm making myself do things. And they say, what is it, like 21 or 30 days? Once you get through that 21 or 30 days, it's becomes habit without you really thinking about it.
Correct. Yeah, and that actually reminds me of like when I have to, when people are saying, I'm going to lose weight, right? You're not going to lose weight if you're not consistent, right? It takes 30 days, maybe 60 days to really push at it and get to that goal, right? All goals are slightly the same, and for me, just because if I have to run, I have to complete a certain thing. I have to complete this every single day, right? If I need to post on social media, I need to do this every single day. If I need to eat better, I need to do this and eat this, this, and this every day, okay? But I like that, Stephen.
Thank you.
Very good. And the one thing that I want to point out about what he says too, which is great, is he says, if I can't find a live training, or if I don't see a live training, I go to a recording. So there's no excuse for him not to be learning something just because it's not available when you're available or in your time zone. He's still finding a way to basically turn these recordings into a university for himself to continue learning. I know Courtney and I, when we first started, some of the best resources that we had, well, she's been in longer than me, but it was all Tony Ward. I would watch Tony Ward stuff when I was working out, when I was on the plane, when I was in the hotel. Like, I couldn't get enough of her content. So she still puts out really good content. If you guys haven't seen her stuff, Courtney did put it on Rising Tide 3 as well, so you can find her YouTube page, but I definitely recommend that you look at the content that she offers as well.
Hi, Molly and Courtney. It's Cheyenne.
Hi, Cheyenne.
I wanted to, my habit that I've been, and I have my daily goals written on my closet door so I can see it every day. My goal is to post a mock booking every day, 3 times if I can.
Which she does.
If I do one, then I know I got it. And then I try to post a travel. I have each day planned out, like Mondays, motivational Mondays, Tuesdays, travel tip Tuesdays, and so forth. And then I try to post like something that's not related to travel. So I try to at least post something throughout the day. And then I add 25 people each day to my Facebook and Instagram.
It's like she's an agent. Oh.
That's how we feel. We're just like, oh.
Now, Cheyenne, I have a question for you. So she's a relatively new agent, right? And so for the brand new agents that we have on this training, I want you to tell them, where do you find the information for you to post those mock bookings? Where do you go in to find those deals every day?
Well, sometimes I think of a place I
Rising
want to
Tide?
go. Yeah, Rising Tide, YouTube. Or I think of a place, or I go on your suppliers, whatever supplier you sign up with, and go to their marketing tab and get your
Perfect.
information from there.
Yeah, because a lot of times, you know, they hear people like yourself that are doing it, but they say, well, I don't know where to get these deals from, right? And it's very simple. From all different places, you can get them, including the emails. Vacation Express sends out awesome emails that you can actually use for marketing too. Cool. Awesome. Cheyenne, great job. Stephen, great job. Everybody, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate the personal touches today. We know you guys are definitely on the right track if you're here on our training.
Okay, let's see what other ones are on here. Molly, I can't seem to move your screen.
Oh, you're moving it.
I am.
Yeah.
It's not moving on my side.
Okay, hang on. Let go of the mouse for 1 second. Okay, tell me if you can
Not
do it
moving
now.
on my side either.
I'm going to give you back control.
Okay. You're going to share again. Okay, are we here?
Yes.
Okay, let me do it again on the right sheet. There we go. Habit tracker. Can you guys see that one?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we did. So how about monthly progress? We didn't talk about this one yet, did we?
Mhm.
Now, I sent out a sheet to a couple of my agents yesterday because they were looking at going on some trips that they wanted me to go on with them. And so I sent them a little sheet that said, okay, January, I have this, February, I have this, March, I'm open, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Your progress might be a travel plan, or your progress might be a savings goal, or your progress might be a number that you want to book to get your commissions every single month. I find that if you break it down for the month, I consider this kind of a short-term goal because it's just, 28 to 31 days. But what is something that you want to achieve just this month? So, for example, for me, in January, I am actually liquidating my last car. I had a rental car business for 9 years where I bought cars in cash and then rented them out to tourists and Uber drivers and Lyft drivers. But the competition got squashed with Uber and Lyft. And so now my big goal for this month is to offload that $10,000 car and then put that into investments. So would anybody else like to share a goal that they have for January? It can be travel related. It could be anything in your life. If you guys want to unmute, you can, or you can type it in the chat box and we'll read it out. But a monthly progress is really important too, because it gives you 30 days to centralize an idea, think about it when you're in the shower, when you're driving, and get it done in a month. It's a very attainable goal as well. So Cheyenne says, make $500 a month in commission. Perfect. So for January, Chris Williamson wants to hit gold. That's awesome. Chris plans to do it by December. So that would be kind of more of a mid-range or a long-term goal because he's got 12 months to do it. Erica says, we're going so fast here. By the end of the month, I want to have a business information organized and get ready to start booking. So a business notebook would be great, organizing all your information about your vendors. Kristen, this one's awesome. So Kristen, you must be a new agent. Complete the Rising Tide success steps to get her $49 back. That's amazing. We don't have that many agents that do it because they almost forget about that, but that would be the perfect thing for her to execute in January because that has a finite deadline of 30 days from when she signed up. Linda says, call a relative once a week, every week this month. That's awesome. Sometimes we forget to reach out to our extended family to just check on them, catch up and see what's going on in their world. Okay. Liz says she wants to get a booking this month. That's awesome. Big or small doesn't matter, right? The more specific, the better. Maybe you want to do a booking of over $200 or $1,000 or track the commission on how much you would make. Perfect. Samita says, get my first booking, and that's really important. So make sure you pay attention to the advice of Cheyenne because she does a really good job of posting mock bookings to get her clients. She's been doing great. Steven says, get my certificates in Disney, Princess, and the hotels. Awesome. Let's see. And I also want to make at least $2,000 a month. Very good goal. So for January, let's see, Rosalie says, I want to get at least $400 in commission. And then Lynn Ann says, I want to refresh my business, starting with the new agent training on Rising Tide 3. Perfect. So those are all good examples. And I like Layla's. This one's not necessarily for the month, but it's for the week. She says, take a day out each week to go out and explore. I think that people in our society don't do that enough. And I definitely advocate for that, Layla. Good suggestion there.
And it's good to do that because if you're in really any location, you can go on Facebook Live and start promoting where you are, right? You know your area best, right? You're the best agent for your area. And start going on Facebook Live and start going to maybe nearby hotels that have all those free collateral brochures, right? So you can totally go ahead and keep that stuff. So when you do decide to do like an event, you have free collateral.
Yep, exactly. And when you're there, I just had these sitting on my desk, so it reminded me, if you happen to go visit a hotel in your area, always grab a business card of the person, see if you can make a contact or get a hotel tour or something. Because that way you have a Rolodex of people to contact. If you send your clients to their properties, they're going to make sure that they take care of their clients for you too. Okay, so the next section, as we start to wrap up, we've got about 14 minutes left. This is the success planner. So one of the things that a lot of people don't do is celebrate their small successes and their small wins. So maybe you finished your Rising Tide Success Steps and you got your $49 back. Celebrate that, have coffee, have a virtual Zoom, have a party, go out to eat with your family or something, but celebrate the small successes. It doesn't have to be like a team rank. It could be a financial goal. It could be maybe you're in college or you're getting your master's degree and you finally graduated. Definitely, because I learned this the hard way when I was younger. I didn't want to celebrate my small successes. And then when I graduated from university, my mom, had a hissy fit because I wasn't going to go to my graduation because I didn't think it was a big deal, right? And she's like, how much have we spent on your college and you're not, celebrating the successes in life that you've done? So, take it from us. Definitely, if you have done anything that's a milestone that you put an action plan together to do, make sure that you celebrate that. Courtney, do you want to add anything?
Sometimes maybe you want to like on Tuesdays, if you totally want to do, toot your horn Tuesday, right? I mean, you work so hard, right? We want to hear it. People want to hear it. Shout it out. I'm actually putting some videos in the chat box on organization that we did, fam trips and branch up. Somebody was asking about that. So those videos are in the chat box.
And then I also added the social media and Facebook one somewhere in the chats too earlier. Okay, so again, you'll get a copy of this, everyone who's on the training. Goals, just stay focused and motivated. Use these pages to identify your career goals, personal goals, financial goals, travel goals, family goals, fitness goals, and even spiritual goals if you're so inclined. And then they give you can print these out. So January, you can make your own calendar. If you subscribe to Courtney and I's method, you have already purchased your calendar that has all of this, so you don't have to print it off. But if you haven't, this one's great and printable. So it just goes throughout the whole year. Let me see if there's anything else at the bottom here.
Erica asked, can we share our links to our Facebook account so we can add you? I will share my Facebook link. I don't add travel agents on my Facebook page just because if you all are my friends, you guys aren't going to book trips with me. So I need to keep a lot of my Facebook friends as clients and potential agents, but you guys can follow. You're still going to see everything that we have on our page.
Same with me, because I finally achieved my goal of 5,000 friends, so I can't add any more people. So you can follow us, and then that way you can see our content too. And anything that we post in terms of marketing, promotions, whatever it may be, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, you guys can grab all that content. We don't mind to share it at all.
Rosalie, you're on my team. You should be having all the information. If you're on my team, you should be getting with Amy Edwards and myself, and I give you all the information. So no sad faces.
So
It's all
I
the
think
same stuff.
This will be our last section. So I just want to point out, so right, you've got different kind of goals in your life, because one of the things that Courtney and I definitely understand, to make this, you know, a long-term career of becoming a travel advisor or a team builder or whatever you're doing with the business, you've got to have a well-rounded life. So career goals, personal goals, family goals, right? Financial goals. You've got to have different kind of goals to make yourself rounded. Fitness goals. Fitness is one that can kind of slip through the cracks, because maybe you spend 8 hours on Zoom a day, you know, learning, and then you forget to go to the gym, and then you gain 10 pounds and you're like, how did this happen? So keeping your mind and your body sharp is also a good way to keep your business flowing well too. And of course, my favorite, travel goals. You guys would be really scared if you could read my travel goals for the year. I wrote them down yesterday. There's definitely more than 12.
Yeah, I think usually I go on about, I would say about 5 to 8 trips a year.
So she's doing one more than once a quarter, if you think about it like that. And then what's your action plan, right? So you guys can look at all these, but we just like to point out that you really should be having a well-balanced life. Take the day off, you know, go do something fun, turn your phone off and go for a hike, work out, get your finances in order. If you're a gold, or if your goal is to be a gold, are you going to spend 100% of what you make? Are you going to give it a portion of it back to your team? Are you going to give it a portion of it, you know, to tithing or to your retirement fund? Just have some goals for yourself when it comes to finances too. Don't let, you know, all the money go to Amazon or Victoria's Secret or wherever you shop, Under Armour.
You know, sports stuff for Steven, you know, whatever it is. So, I mean, even for me, I have a big trip that I'm going on March of 2022 to Antarctica. So a lot of my commission money is being saved so I can go on my biggest, most expensive race trip of the year next year. So, and with that, Molly, I'm going to have everyone start putting their email addresses in the chat box. And while you're finishing up, I'm actually going to answer something on the chat that came up while you finish this.
Okay, so I'm going to just be here in the background grabbing the email addresses then.
Okay, so there was a thing someone asked about team building, and Rosalie, this is kind of towards what you were saying, but there is no way behind. Nobody's way behind anything, because if you really think about, I'm way behind. You guys may not think that because I'm a platinum, but I'm trying to get to 1 star. And in my mind, for me, I should have been 1 star in August. Now, this is January. Did I make the cut? No, I didn't make the cut for award for during convention. So there is no time frame, just because you think that's in your mind. You think you're behind, but you're really not. This is not a thing of who's going to get there first. This isn't a race. I've been in for 4 years. This is definitely not a race. It's all in your head. Okay, you are your own worst enemy. I told you guys, if you were at my training this morning, you are your own worst enemy. You're the one that's going to be telling yourself that you need to push, you need to do this. But if you're not consistent and you don't get help, and you're just saying, well, I need help with this, or I need help with that. Well, who did you contact? I don't care if you contacted somebody every single day to get help. Anybody. Okay, doesn't matter if it's team building or travel booking or social media, because honestly, Molly and I were in the same shoes as you. We signed up, we had to go through trainings, and Molly's, how long have you been in?
It will be 2 years on Valentine's Day.
Aw, well, in 2 years, Molly has had a lot of extra trainings, but even in the 2 years, we didn't have a Rising Tide 3 website. Guess what? Like I've said before, I started 4 years and 4 months ago. I definitely didn't have all the trainings you guys had. I had 1 training a week. Every Saturday I had a training to go to. And I listened to Nikki Lee Booking Live every Saturday. And I probably talked to her on the phone a couple of times, but that was 5 months after I started. So there is no time frame.
Courtney, tell them how we used to get our new agents. Did
Oh my God.
Presentation exist?
So we didn't have presentations. Okay. I actually had to host a presentation at a restaurant, or at, you know, like a Panera Bread, right? I actually had to have a little table, invite people, put out flyers, put things online, okay? And I had to make sure that they came. I didn't have anyone's text message to text everybody. I didn't have a Calendly if I had an online calendar. We just started using that like literally like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had the old fashioned way, getting myself a pen and paper, start writing everyone's name and number and email address down. And if they were interested, if I had that, if they were not local, how was I supposed to get them on? I didn't have a presentation. I had to call Charles Lee. I had to sit on the phone with Charles for 2 hours. 2 hours. You want to be on the phone for 2 hours listening to Charles? I mean, he's great to listen to. Don't get me wrong. It's great to listen to. But it's me being on mute.
Yep.
And just sitting there listening, listening each and every person.
And I remember, because Marty, helped me get to silver with 2-on-1 calls, 3-way calls. And I remember calling her and she's like, I'm on the treadmill, but yes, let me talk to them. So I hear her and she's helping me build my team and we did what it takes and she did what it takes and our leaders are amazing. But the resources that the whole team has provided and creates for you guys now, it's not to be taken lightly because not other teams have this. There aren't really other teams in the company that work as well and as close knit as Rising Tide does. So make sure that you're plugging in and using those resources because they're not available to everybody.
They're really not. You guys are so lucky because I started and I didn't do a diddly squat for 5 months. So you think that you're moving slow? Yeah, I didn't do anything for 5 months, but I still paid my dues. I never quit. I still paid my dues until I was like, oh, let me call Nicole Lee and talk to her and get some help. 4 years later, I am a 4-time IATAN card holder, almost 1-star platinum. And y'all think I'm probably like, oh my God, she knows all this information. Girl, I had to listen, I had to learn. And even when after those 5 months, did I still listen to my sponsor? No. I knew everything. I just knew it all. I could just do it myself. Nope, guess what? I failed. I was like, fine. Charles was like, you're gonna listen now? Yes, I'll listen now. And because I listened and didn't reinvent the wheel, here I am now.
And sometimes that's the hardest part is we think we need to reinvent the wheel, but the wheel's already been made. Just roll with it.